welcome to another episode of Tips for Tricks. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a subject that is on the mouths of many right now. It is, of course, climate change. What can you do to fight against it, and how can we change to be more eco-friendly? Well, the solution that many are regarding right now as the best is, of course, carbon compensation or carbon neutrality. That means that you will have no impact on the nature by being neutral, carbon neutral. This means, for example, that if you would add 2 molecules of CO2 by driving in a car, you would subtract 2 molecules of CO2 by doing something that's green, for example, driving a bike. Tip number 1 is all about being as intelligent in your resources and energies usage. For example, if ever you have some water for the shower or whilst washing your hands, close it. You don't need it in the entire time. It's useless. At its red light, cut off the engine. Why use some more petrol? It's better for you and for the planet. And lastly, if ever you are leaving an empty room, turn off the lights and the AC. The second tip is more about replacing stuff which normally pollute a lot by something that are greener. For example, instead of using cash, you can use credit. Instead of using plastic straws, use metal ones. Instead of using a car to go to short distances, you can all use a bike. And of course, buy regionally, buy Nidal Farms. The third tip is more about reusing products which you would normally throw. For example, your clothes, wilt them till they are too small for you and then give them to charity, so that then you can help Earth and also humanity at the same time. Of course, if ever you have organic waste, instead of just throwing them in the trash can, you can make compost out of them. If ever you have some plastic bags, reuse them. And of course, you can buy second-hand or already used products. And the fourth and final tip is being eco-conscious. That means whenever you're doing anything, you also think about the environment. For example, whenever you're printing something, print both-sided. If ever you're at the ATM, refuse to print the bill. If ever you're searching on the internet, instead of using Google, you can use EcoAsia. So for every dumb search, you have planted a tree. And of course, you can always pick up some litter if ever you see some lying on the ground. And here we are, 4 easy tips to be as eco-friendly and eco-conscious as possible. And thanks, and see you next time on Tips for Tricks.